Well, in our last episode, we spoke with DJ Bravo, and
Who's
he
that?
told us how Dwayne. We
What,
spoke with Dwayne in our
who's
last
that?
episode.
What he does? He plays cricket?
A little bit of that and some singing too.
Oh, okay, right. Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right.
Are you hearing me all right?
Nice and clear.
Okay, great. So, how have you been? How has this time at home been for you?
um, it's been good actually. As cricketers and person who travel the world a lot, you sometimes on tour you ask for these times, but we have gotten more than we have expected, and I think for me, honestly, it has been good.
And they're probably so happy. It's a change for them to have you home for such a long period of time.
Yeah, of course. I can't tell you the last time I'd have been home for this length of time. Obviously, it would have been if I've gotten injured, which have been a couple of years ago. But still, I was not at home. I had to do therapy and keep moving up and down or whatever the case is. But actually being home almost 24 hours. Sometimes we didn't come out of the house for about 3 days. And just being home is fantastic. So they're enjoying it. I'm getting to see the youngest, sort of grow in, when they start to change in terms of creep to walk and these things. And it has been fun.
Growing up, did you always want to be a cricketer, or was there any other sport or anything else that you wanted to be?
Yeah, growing up, cricket was number one. From a young age, used to watch, sort of cricket on television all the time, day in, day out. When West Indies playing against England, when they're in England, getting up 6 o'clock in the morning, watching on television. When they actually in the Caribbean playing as well, once they did test match or the one day international. That time obviously it wasn't any T20 cricket. So used to go to the Oval and admire and watch your heroes, from a corner. Those days were the Brian Lara. He was obviously the icon and someone that we looked up to. And I got an opportunity to start my international career with him as a captain, as well. Watching Courtney Walsh, Curtly Ambrose, Carl Cooper, these Richie Richardson, these guys, was, the idols, growing up. And, you just wanted to emulate them every time you get an opportunity to play cricket on the streets or whatever. So yeah, cricket was always the first love, and, I get the opportunity to actually, sometimes they say dream and dreams come true. Dreamt and you get the opportunity to live the dream.
Well, you're an all-rounder cricketer, and you called some big names there. So growing up, who was your favorite batsman, your favorite bowler, and your favorite fielder?
Favorite batsman, Brian Lara, of course.
Right.
Favorite bowler, Courtney Walsh. Ambrose used to, all the pressure, and he used to come and get the wickets and celebrate. And in terms of fieldsmen, what I used to like to see was the ease in which Carl Hooper used to take those catches in second slip. When it comes, he's sort of laid back sort of mentality and gobs up everything. So I used to admire him a lot, especially in his slips in the field. So that time you want to aim, when you get to play cricket, you want to feel any slips. But eventually afterwards you realize the outfield should be the best place for you. You get time to relax there, as well.
All right. Clearly, you spotted the potential of the shortest format early in your career. But did you think at that time that the players from the Caribbean would dominate the T20 format globally in the coming years? Guys like yourself, the Bravos, Sunil Narine, Chris Gayle, Andre Russell.
To be honest, at that point in time, no. We didn't think that we were going to dominate. But what we did know is that that sort of cricket in terms of T20 cricket and shortest format fell straight up our alleys in terms of how we play short format, not thinking much, using our power, using our aggression, using our athleticism, to get advantage, on the opposition. So once we got a taste of it in 2006, it was, we played T20 in Stanford when that started in the Caribbean.
Right.
And we really, really enjoyed it. I thought that was the day everyone, started to say, what, we can actually progress further when it comes to this. And some, like for instance myself, it's a funny situation. I sort of look at it as it was put to me that you should go and play T20 cricket because you weren't getting selected in longer format. It was an opportunity, and I took that route. And getting the opportunity in 2009 as a Trinidad and Tobago team, I think was a defining moment for me personally in my career, and for a lot of other TNT cricketers, because I would have played or gotten selected to play for West Indies in 2007, and those first couple of years weren't great, in all honesty. So I was dropped in 2009, earlier that year.
Yeah.
We had the World Cup in England, we had a series in England, and after that I was dropped, and the next series would have been in December. So in between that, we'd have had, the Champions League would have been started, and you get an opportunity to be defending champions in the Caribbean, to go to India. So we were just all training and looking forward to that, and all the funky hairstyles and all this is part of us. And we knew when we got there, they wouldn't take us seriously, because little guys, from Trinidad and Tobago, going to a world tournament where all the other leagues and all the other players are well established and they have proper structure and stuff like that. You see these guys come with these funky hairstyles and whatever. But we knew what we could have done. We were under the leadership of Darren Ganga, who did an instrumental job, with us in that period in Trinidad and Tobago cricket. We had Dwayne Bravo, the only player at that point in time from the Trinidad team to play in the IPL, so you having that experience. And we had guys who have played a lot of international cricket, before that as well, and guys who looking for that exposure. So everyone was on a sort of a mission to try to achieve something in that tournament. And he looked at the situation, he looked at the prize monies, a way out. Guys, myself, my girlfriend at that time, she was pregnant. That was an opportunity, as well, to bring in a innocent kid into the world. You have to, try to provide for them as well. So, Nathan Stewart, I think, was there as well. These guys, everyone had an opportunity or had a goal at the end of that tournament. And from the time we set foot in India and we started to play, I think, we stunned a lot of people in that 2009 Champions League. Although we didn't win, and it was disappointed, we could have won, but I thought that it was the right step for us, for what was left to transpire in the next couple of years ahead. Yeah, it was a good feeling, getting the feedback as well in India. A lot of things would have stopped in Trinidad when you're playing that final and those semi-finals, because we weren't just beating teams, we're beating teams with international players who were dominating international cricket at that point in time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we know for sure, especially that final day when you're playing that final, a lot of things would have stopped in that sort of mid-morning period. So it would have been about from 10:30 Trinidad time till about 1-2 o'clock. Everything would have been a standstill. It would have been something that was going on right now, but just with entertainment on the television.
Yeah. Well, in our last episode, we spoke with DJ Bravo, and he told us how Dwayne. We spoke with Dwayne in our last episode.
What he does? He plays cricket?
A little bit of that and some singing too.
Oh, okay, right.
And he told us, he was so happy to see you and to finally have you join TKR after so many years. What was the feeling you had when you walked out on your home ground here at Queen's Park Oval as the TKR captain?
It was a good feeling. Obviously, we knew what transpired when they decided to break up the Caribbean T20 and have our own T20 league. And at that point in time, we had 5, 6, 7, 8 guys who were on the international scene in the T20 arena. And we knew all of us could not have played for Trinidad at that point in time, because we understand the difference between franchise and national and regional cricket. So again, always coming up against Trinidad was a big game for me, and not because being a Trinidadian, I think the camaraderie that we had with the Trinidadian guys and the way how we live and the way how we talk and we chat, it's always a competition. There's always banter. There's always, so you're always geared up, for that. And to see the Knight Riders franchise grow into such of a big franchise off of KKR from the IPL, at one point you always want to say, what, you want to represent in that team. I want to walk into the oval, to the wicket, and the stands actually cheering for me. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I was enjoying playing against them. beating them a couple of times, losing, a couple of times as well. But it was there at some point in time I would get my opportunity, and obviously Dwayne being, my good friend, we'll always ask the question, Wally boy, when you're coming back home? And I just used to respond and say, well, when you're ready for me to come back home, use the bus, right? And, things, turn out in itself without you even trying too hard. Whereas it was in Barbados for 5 years, did well for 3. They didn't love me. They didn't love me anymore. And then moving on to St. Lucia, looking to build something there, and then the call came and the conversation took place. And from the time the conversation took place, and he said, okay, now is the time to engage it. I said, well, it is what it is. You want to walk out, you want to represent. And I was expecting to walk out at the Oval to play for TKR as a normal player. But again, first time getting to walk out as TKR, I ended up being the captain, with Brav, going down before the tournament, last year, which was disappointing, for all of us. But in itself, walking out and having the crowd, behind me was a really, really good feeling. And it really didn't, catch my attention until about the third game, because the first couple of games, or the first 2 games, it was just about getting in, trying to do what I have to do, and getting the team, to win. You weren't concentrating on all your free routes going on around. But I remember sometime in around the third game, just standing on the boundary and I was watching, I said, oh, very, very nice atmosphere. And then it was straight back into cricket. So again, it was good. Nice feeling.
Well, soon after CPL, you became the white ball captain of the West Indies. What was your first reaction when you got the call up?
It was one of it's not satisfaction, it's nothing like it. One of, okay, this is a big challenge. It's one of, okay, how are you going to handle this head on, because of all that has transpired before, and now being named, captain, how is all of this going to play out? But again, I just, left it, just as I do with a lot of things, play it by ear, play it how I see it, and just be the individual that I am, just be me. And whatever challenges or whatever would have been said and all these things, take it in stride and just continue to want to do what I want to do, which is to do well for the team, ensure that the team wins, and hopefully bring these smiles back to the diehard supporters, bring these smiles back to the ones who are negative about West Indies cricket and about cricket, the ones who are negative about Kieron, Pollard, and all these things. So just like the same challenges I faced when I was announced captain of Tridents, so it wasn't unfamiliar territory, for me in terms of what to expect. And again, all I can do is be me, and being me is just being me. Acting it out sometimes, just let it play out and everything falls into place, because you need to, when you're doing things, you do things clean heart, clean mind, to the point. What's the goal? What's the aim? That's it.